In this video, let's take a look at how we can apply our textures on our characters. So here's our UVs, and what I'm going to do right now is open the paint package I used, Photoshop, to paint the UVs. So here's the simple texture that I painted on the character, and if I simply just turn off all these layers right over here, you can see that this is the UV that came from Maya, and it's really big. It's a, if I go to the image size, 1024 by 1024 image. So you can see right now it's only showing at 33.3%. So pretty much I started painting simple textures. So here's for the shoes, simple black, as you can see. Here's the main body right here. Here's the buttons, all these simple buttons. And then here's the back of the body over there, that back piece, and then the back of the head with some hair. And here's the arms, and then this is finally the head again. And then here's one of the eyes, and I just had the eye and the little smile over there on that one layer. And I normally would rename everything, so please rename all the layers. So after this, I simply save this as a file, texture1.tiff, and pretty much went to Maya, and all you do is you go to your Hypershade. So once the Hypershade opens up, with my character selected already, I'm simply going to click on this button, which is my graph materials on selected objects. I simply chose a Lambert, and pretty much I applied a file texture right over here, right there, and middle mouse button dragged and dropped it. So pretty much I make a file like such, and it comes with its own 2D texture node. Middle mouse button, drag and drop it on the color. So that's all I did, and pretty much I double clicked when the file was open over here. When you apply a file texture, this file node opens up, and pretty much I chose the texture1.tiff, the tex1.tiff, and since it was already UV'd, Maya knew exactly where those textures would go. So the result is, if I hit 6 or turn on this button, you can see that there's the character. Nice little guy right there with his big belly. And if I click on him, and if I, let's close this, and if I turn on this button over here, you can see that's the texture. And the good thing about this is you can always adjust it. So if you feel that, let's say for example right here, if you feel that something's not right, I can select one of the UVs. So let's say it's that UV right there, and I can move this around, and you can see how everything's moving. So it's not really affecting the model, as you can see, it's just the texture. So that's how simple that process is, and how simple it is to really even do the textures, because everything is laid out in front of you, and you pretty much just paint over that, and when it comes in Maya, it's right there. And the cool thing about doing a UV is, if I go back to my paint package, any changes I make over here, all I have to do is I have to go back to my Hypershade, and if, as far as the file name is not changed, I'll just right click and say reload image file. That's all I have to do. So there you go, there's your texturing for the character, and in the next video we'll start putting some joints inside him and see some skinning process. So we'll see the entire rigging process in the next couple of videos.